Let me pose a question to you. Do you think that you could have an intimate, successful marriage with somebody who you've never met in person and you haven't even had a phone call with them, so you don't even know the sound of their voice, but you have gotten some secondhand accounts of their character or things that other people know about them? I mean, and through what lots of other people say, you might have a pretty good idea of what you think about them. But do you think you would be able to go immediately into having a successful marriage with that person? If it was assured that this person was indeed a good person and you weren't scared about being married to some abusive person, but that if this person was truly good and you had that for sure, but you knew nothing about them outside of that, do you think you could have an intimate relationship with them, intimate marriage with them right away? Honestly, I feel like most of our instincts would say no, obviously not, right? Because if you know nothing about somebody else apart from what other people have kind of told you about them, you're not going to know how to honor that person, what makes them who they are on the inside. You're not going to know what their boundaries are and how to not cross them or offend them. You're not going to know anything about, their goals and their hearts, their passions. Not really. Now, as arranged marriages would kind of prove that it is possible to have a successful marriage with somebody you've never met, because there were successful marriages just like that. But do you think that they got married and then not learn anything about each other once they got married? No. In fact, Yah's design for marriage is that two people get married and then spend the rest of their lives getting to know each other, to grow deeper with each other and in relationship with Him. That's the design. So in truth, you don't have to know everything about somebody before you marry them, before you enter into the covenant with them. But you do have to start getting to know them once that covenant is made. Or else that relationship, there's no room for intimacy and true relationship there. The same exact applies to your relationship with the Father. Our relationship is a covenant. Just like marital relationships between man and woman, you technically don't have to know Elohim before entering into the covenant. Before accepting the gift of salvation, you technically don't really have to know much about Yahuwah. But if you know nothing, your next step upon accepting the gift of salvation is to learn a bunch, I would hope. The problem and the reason for this video is that so many people, and I would say it's most prevalent within the Christian church, believe that they can enter into this covenant with Yahuwah and have a successful, intimate relationship with Him without knowing Him. What does Yeshua say? If you love me, you will keep my commands. All throughout texts, the topic of keeping commands, the laws, the statutes, the Torah, it's never about sin or obligation or fear. It's always out of love. So, when you're getting to know your human spouse, you get to know their love languages. You have to know the language first that they speak to be able to communicate, but their love languages, how they receive love, and how they're going to give love to you. That's something that you have to learn. You learn their nuances. You learn their heart. You learn what blesses them and what offends them. You have to learn how to love somebody properly. If you don't take the time to know somebody or get to know them, you're going to be loving them with your own definition of love, and they're not going to receive it. They're going to want to receive love in one way, and you're going to be shouting, I love you, in your own way, and they're not going to receive it. And that is what is happening with the Christian church and with Yahuwah Elohim. They have claimed salvation through the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach, but they have not stepped into relationship. Because that's the truth. Yeshua came to bring us salvation and give us the right to have right relationship with our Father. But He does not give us intimacy with Yahuwah. That's our job. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Those who seek Yahuwah with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And the truth is, you cannot know the Creator who made you if you do not know His wisdom, if you do not know His character and His heart, His light and His truth. That's Torah. That's Yeshua. Who is Yeshua? Torah made flesh. So if you in your human mind can't fathom having an intimate relationship with a spouse here on earth without knowing anything about them and taking the time to get to know them, how can you think that you can have and understand the depths and richness of the Creator of the universe if you just go off of what other people tell you about Him? If you let other people interpret His words for you? If you don't spend time getting to know His language, His love language for you? If you don't take the time to understand His will and His plan and His wisdom? I mean, imagine if your spouse celebrated your birthday on the birthday of your enemy. What if you were allergic to strawberries and your partner gave you strawberries as a gift, having been married for 3 years already? But yet there are people sitting in the Christian church for 20 years, 30 years, and they still have no idea who their Creator really is. They're caught in religion, not relationship. You're caught in the cycle of traditions of men. My heat just turned on and I don't have my headphones, but I'm just going to keep going. Hopefully it's not too loud. Anyway, the point of this video is so much of who Yahuwah is has to do with His Torah, His wisdom. It's the first thing that came out of Him, and it is His Torah, His wisdom, that spoke and created all things. His wisdom holds all things together. If you don't know Torah, you cannot know Him. Not the way He wants to be known and fully known. We are made in His image. He made us to love us fully and to share and to be loved fully, and He made us to love each other fully. And that requires effort and self-sacrifice. I hope that makes sense. Shalom, and I love you all.